Have you ever tried pairing fried green beans with a soft-boiled egg? Or do you like a more classic combination of steak, peppers, and cheese? Either way, keep watching to find something appetizing among this selection of sandwiches. Humbly tucked away inside an unassuming liquor store, Jeff's Table in Los Angeles is a well-kept secret behind a hidden door that changes your universe. Billing itself as a modern micro-deli, it was founded by TV writer Jeff Strauss, who decided to redirect his talents into making some of the most flavorful sandwiches you'll ever encounter. The roast beef sandwich is a classic, but the chefs at Jeff's Table decided to elevate it with a few creative twists. So the new OG roast beef combines house-made roast beef seasoned with miso, horseradish creme fraiche, arugula, and pickled onions on a house sandwich roll. The end result is a mouth-watering jubilee of flavors that will leave you pleasantly thunderstruck. Between their seasonal menu and daily specials, the sandwich lineup at Jeff's Table is always evolving. The success of the deli has also led Jeff Strauss to test out some other interesting projects, like a one-off pig roast with a special sandwich that featured pulled Carolina pork with cracklings. Clearly, Jeff's Table and all of its various culinary incantations are something to keep on your radar. With a name that conveys simplicity, meat, cheese, breads, bold flavors, and creative sandwiches might catch you by surprise. It's a modest but mighty sandwich shop run by culinary aficionados in East Portland, where you can't go wrong with anything on the inventively enticing menu. It features staples like a green chili breakfast burrito and a steak and egg sandwich with blue cheese aioli. Meanwhile, there are limited-time specials, like a riff on a Thanksgiving sandwich tucked between two slices of stuffing-flavored bread pudding, showcase marvelous fare that will keep you coming back for more. One of the most extraordinary and brilliant sandwiches on the menu is simply called the green bean. It features fresh grilled green beans, bacon relish, a sliced soft-boiled egg, grated Parmesan cheese, and aioli, all piled on a ciabatta roll. When these unlikely ingredients join forces, the delicious result is a revelation. One of the last things you'd ever think to put on a sandwich might just blow your mind, and it's also a great way to get your daily greens in. Burrowed in the heart of Little Havana, Sanguich de Miami is a 25-seat space with a few appetizers, a handful of sandwiches, and Cuban coffee. Additionally, guava and cream cheese milkshakes, Cuban nachos, and plantain fries with a trio of dipping sauces demonstrate how Sanguich de Miami's menu is rooted in tradition while also cleverly pushing the envelope. And their Croqueta Preparada sandwich is an absolute standout. It's a grand slam of flavor stuffed with slices of ham, roasted pork, Swiss cheese, croquettes, pickles, and a brush of mustard on pressed Cuban bread. There's a lot to appreciate about this sandwich, but the real stroke of genius is the choice to masterfully tuck a few croquettes in between all the meat, briny pickles, and melted cheese. And the outer breading of the croquettes lends an extra layer of texture and crunch to the sandwich that's sure to have you begging for more with every bite.
Sanguich, that's Sanguich.
Yes.
Sanguich de Miami.
Devil's Dill likes to party. After a few years slinging late-night affordable gourmet sandwiches to go in Portland, Oregon, they decided to open up a dimly lit dive bar in the space next door, so that the hungry hordes could enjoy their fare with a cheap shot or a good beer. These two projects complement each other and share a spirit that somehow feels both low-key and celebratory. This same vibe is reflected in their menu, with sandwiches that are glorious and inspired, but also approachable and down-to-earth. Made with high-quality meats and cheeses on toasted fleur-de-lis ciabatta rolls, their sandwich lineup feels familiar yet innovative. Everything on the menu is good, but the real star is the number 3, which is Devil's Dill's version of an Italian grinder. It features salami, mortadella, provolone, vinegar-massaged kale, red onions, cherry pepper relish, and balsamic aioli. The consistently tender and succulent kale pairs perfectly with the cured meats, and the aioli adds a rich complexity that lusciously elevates everything into perfection. There's a good reason that Stamey's in Greensboro, North Carolina has been around for nearly a century. Cooked Lexington-style barbecue over hardwood coals, their smoky and tender barbecue will melt in your mouth. It's the culmination of secrets passed down by pitmasters for generations. Preferring old-school fire tending over gas or electric cooking methods, Stamey's appreciates the power of a well-tended flame. As the meat slowly sizzles over the gentle blaze, the fat drips onto the wooden embers below, sending a mist of hickory smoke upwards into the barbecue. That smoke runs deep into the meat, and it's a part of what makes their chopped pork barbecue sandwich the highlight of the Stamey's menu. But it's their flawless slaw that truly takes this sandwich to the next level. It's made from finely diced cabbage mixed with ketchup and spices that add the perfect amount of zing. And you'll absolutely want to dunk this sandwich into a thimble of Stamey's legendary dip, which is a bright and zesty mix of apple cider vinegar, ketchup, sugar, and spices. It will send you to paradise. With locations in Miami and Delray Beach, Batch Gastropub offers an impressively executed menu with locally sourced ingredients that put a few unique, often international spins on classic American fare. The Florida shrimp and lobster rolls, for example, pair the South with New England. And then there are the truffle fries with Parmesan cheese, truffle oil, rosemary, and B1 aioli, as well as the buffalo chicken nachos, which both prove how adept Batch is at masterfully enhancing a common dish into something fresh and exciting. But it's Batch's hot pepper cheesesteak that'll truly knock your socks off. It's brushed with a smear of smoked paprika aioli, piled high with tender shaved ribeye that's blended with perfectly sautéed onions and pickled hot cherry peppers, and then fused together with gooey white American cheese. This is not only the best sandwich on their menu, but arguably one of the best sandwiches in the entire country. The steak is juicy and exquisite. The bun is light, fresh, and a little crispy. And the pickled hot cherry peppers have just the right amount of heat to shine through all of the richness. Sometimes the simplest sandwiches are the best. You don't need a lot of complicated fixings or sophisticated techniques. You just need high-quality ingredients, attention to detail, and a love of the craft. The Clam Shack in Kennebunk, Maine understands this. They've been serving local seafood since 1968, and simply put, they know what they're doing. The Clam Shack's award-winning lobster roll comes on a buttered and toasted, locally sourced round bun with hand-picked lobster meat that's caught, cooked, and shucked every day. The lobsters are boiled in ocean water, and the meat is left in large pieces. There are no fillers, and nothing is ever frozen. And the buttered and toasted buns are specially ordered and come from a family-run bakery. The end result is the freshest, sweetest, most succulent lobster meat you've ever had. The Clam Shack's menu also includes fried fresh seafood, as well as lunch boxes that come with sides of french fries and coleslaw, chowders, and boiled lobster dinners. If you're nowhere near Maine but would like to see what all the fuss is about, you're in luck, as the Clam Shack ships its fare nationwide via Goldbelly. In a sea of exceptional delis scattered across the tropical turf of South Florida, Laspada has managed to rise to the top of the sandwich heap. What started as a humble hoagie shop in 1972 has expanded into 5 locations with a devoted following across the area. One of the signature sandwiches on their menu is the Monster, which is stacked with thin slices of ham, turkey, and roast beef that's sure to please anyone with a hearty appetite. It's all nestled together on Laspada's famous Italian bread, with your choice of cheese and toppings, making for an absolutely delicious beast. So what exactly makes Laspada's so magnificent? They use freshly baked Italian bread, slice all their meats to order, source the freshest ingredients available, and then add 2 layers of meat, one on the bottom and the other draped over the top to tuck everything in. Another extraordinary touch is that the employee working the slicer launches the freshly sliced meat through the air across the kitchen to another hoagie maker waiting to catch it with an open Italian roll. Thus, the sandwich making at Laspada's often feels more like a spirited spectacle rather than some perfunctory obligation. Between the amazing food and the enthusiastic atmosphere, it's easy to see why Laspada's has earned such a dedicated fan base. Orlando is often thought of as being a tourist trap, but there's so much more to it than the regular theme park destinations. The city's diverse and vibrant food scene has been flourishing for years, thriving off a revolving door of international visitors and a stable base of enthusiastic locals. One of the reigning champs in the area is Pom Pom's, which boasts an extensive and innovative menu that reflects the diversity of the international destination it calls home. One of the best offerings is the Mama Ling Ling's Thanksgiving sandwich. which comes with turkey, gouda, stuffing, ginger cranberry chutney, mashed potatoes, cream cheese, and gravy for dunking. But the most memorable sandwich has got to be the Viet Pom, which comes with sliced turkey, daikon, carrots, cilantro, cucumber, and sriracha mayo. It's also occasionally available with smoked brisket, which is nothing short of extraordinary. Rich and woody from the brisket, fresh and crisp from the daikon and cucumber, and sweet and fiery from the sriracha mayo. The Viet Pom is a masterful embodiment of balanced flavor. Located in a beautiful little space in Portland, Güero serves booze and tortas, which are Mexican sandwiches served on a fluffy roll. They're typically filled with various meats, but they can be stuffed with almost anything, including fresh sliced avocados, jalapenos, cheese, refried beans, shredded lettuce, tomatoes, and lime juice. The tortas at Güero are expertly assembled and loaded with high-quality ingredients. Some of their menu options include the ahogada, which has tender chunks of juicy pork, habanero slaw, and cilantro. Then there's the desayuno, which features braised beef, a fried egg, cotija, avocado, pickled jalapenos, greens, and chicharrón de queso. But the real standout is a vegetarian torta called the Masa y Papa, which was featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives.
The Masa y Papa.
Potato and masa?
Yeah.
Featuring a fried pancake made out of masa and potatoes, a roasted tamarind tomato, avocado, onions, cilantro, lime, queso batanero, cabbage, pickled onion, and chili lime mayo, all piled on a toasted telera roll. The Masa y Papa is a magnificent feast. And on top of all that, the crispy potato pancake adds a layer of crunch that perfectly complements the roasted tomato and avocado.
It's dynamite any way you slice it.
Phoenix's Pane Bianco is a project by Chris Bianco, a legend in the artisanal pizza movement. As a James Beard Award winner for Best Chef in 2003, Bianco is a widely respected national treasure of culinary wisdom. It's no surprise that his projects have earned accolades from some of the most well-known voices in the scene. The house-made mozzarella sandwich at Pane Bianco has 3 ingredients and proves that some of the best things in life are simple. With basil, fresh mozzarella, and local tomatoes on wood-fired focaccia, this is one sandwich that's sure to convert anyone into a true believer. Everything about this house-made creation works together in such beautiful harmony. The inherent sweetness of the tomatoes complements the mozzarella, while the basil and focaccia add freshness and a touch of smokiness. With plenty of other satisfying sandwich fare on the menu, you really can't go wrong with anything at Pane Bianco.
My mother likes it. You know, my family, my kids not too crazy about it, but that's another story.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about the best foods in America are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.